Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining this morning. Shun Bhaktum Sangha and attentive Japa. Thank you all so much. And we shall continue talking about Jad Bharat and Maharaj Rahagun. So Jad Bharat is explaining to Maharaj Rahagun answer to his questions that he asked him. There's a lot of things he was not sure about. He had doubts. And Jad Bharat is explaining. So hopefully we might be able to conclude this today. So let's see what happens. So we're talking about the material world as the great forest of enjoyment. So the person is mentioned that the personal weapon used by Lord Krishna, the disc is called Hari Chakra, the disc of Hari. This chakra is the wheel of time. It expands from the beginning of the atoms up to the time of Brahma's death, and it controls all activities. So this is how significant the Hari Chakra is. It is always revolving and spending the lives of the living entities, from Lord Brahma down to an insignificant blade of grass. Thus one changes from infancy to childhood to youth and maturity. And thus one approaches the end of life. That's the 6 stages in our material or material body. It is impossible to check this wheel of time. This wheel is very exacting because it is the personal weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes the conditioned soul, fearing the approach of death, wants to worship someone who can save him from imminent danger. Yet he doesn't care for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose weapon is the indefatigable time factor. The conditioned soul, instead taking shelter of a man-made God described in unauthorized scriptures. Such gods are like buzzards, vultures, herons, and crows, where the scriptures do not refer to them. An imminent death is like the attack of a lion, and neither vultures, buzzards, crows, nor herons can save one from such an attack. One who takes shelter of unauthorized man-made gods cannot be saved from the clutches of death. So it's shown that the death is very strong, and when the time comes, nobody can save you from death. Especially the man-made gods, they don't have the authority or the strength to save you. Let's pray. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yad Kirpataham Dashi Gurundi Taranam Pramanandamadvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat Narayanan Naskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Sasvit Vyasam Tato Jayamaduriyat Nashna Prishavadireshu Nitam Bhagavad Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. Hare Krishna. So by fulfilling the process of evolution from the aquatics to the animal platform, a living entity eventually reaches the human form. The 3 modes of material nature are always working in the evolutionary process. Those who come to the human form through the quality of the sattva gun. So this is interesting. So those who come to human form through the quality of sattva gun were cows in their last animal incarnation. Those who come to the human form through the quality of rajagun were lions in the last animal incarnation. So I think most of the lions, but because people mostly in the rajagun. And those who come to the human form through the quality of tamagun were monkeys, or probably the last one, in the last animal incarnation. In this way, the descendants of the monkeys intermingle with each other, and they are generally known as Shudras. Without hesitating, they live and move freely, not knowing the goal of life. So it's saying that we actually behave like monkeys because we move around freely, but we don't know, we don't have any significant goals in life. So this is how monkeys are. They are captivated simply by seeing the faces of one another, which remind them of sense gratification. They're always engaged in material activities known as gramya karma, and they work hard for material benefit. Thus, they forget completely that one day the small lifespans will be finished and they will be degraded in the evolutionary cycle. Yeah, so this is so true. One simply has to follow the regulative principles, act like a Brahman, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and read Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, one purifies himself of the base material modes, tamagun and rajogun. So these purify your lower gunas, and becoming freed from the greed of these modes can attain complete peace of mind. In this way, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and one's relationship with Him, and thus be promoted to the highest perfection, Siddhim Paramam Gatha. Oh, it's explained further. Just as a monkey jumps from one tree to another, the conditioned soul jumps from one body to another. So this is the similarity. As the monkey is ultimately captured by the hunter and is unable to get out of captivity, the conditioned soul, being captivated by momentary pleasure, becomes attached to different types of bodies and is encased in family life. Family life affords the conditioned soul a festival of momentary pleasure, and thus is completely unable to get out of the material clutches. So in this material world, when the conditioned soul forgets his relationship with the Supreme Personality Godhead and does not care for Krishna consciousness, he simply engages in different types of mischievous and sinful activities. He is then subjected to the threefold miseries, and out of fear of the elephant of death, he falls into the darkness found in a mountain cave. So everyone is afraid of death, and however strong a materialist person may be, when there is disease and old age, one must certainly accept death's notice. The conditioned soul becomes very morose to receive notice of death. His fear is compared to the fear experienced upon entering a dark mountain cave. So that's why the cave is mentioned. And death is compared to a great elephant. The conditioned soul suffers many miserable bodily conditions, such as being affected by severe cold and strong winds like we're having right now. He also suffers due to activities of other living beings and due to natural disturbances. When he is unable to counteract them and has to remain in a miserable condition, he naturally becomes very morose because he wants to enjoy material facilities. So sometimes conditioned souls exchange money, but in due course of time, enmity arises because of cheating. Although there may be a tiny profit, the conditioned souls cease to be friends and become enemies. So just talking about our lives, we therefore advise our disciples to strictly follow. So Srila Prabhupada says that we therefore advise our disciples to strictly follow the regulative principles. Otherwise, the most important movement for the upliftment of humanity will be hampered due to dissension among its members. Those who are serious about pushing forward this Krishna consciousness movement should remember this and strictly follow the regulative principle so their minds will not be disturbed. So you can have problems anywhere, any religious organizations. We all have cheating propensity, so we have to be very careful that devotees, we all at different levels. So, we just can't accept the people at face value. We have to know, how deep they are into Krishna consciousness. Sometimes having no money, the conditioned soul doesn't get sufficient accommodations. Sometimes he doesn't even have a place to sit, nor does he have the other necessities. In other words, he falls into scarcity, and at that time, when he's unable to secure the necessities by fair means, he decides to seize the property of others unfairly. When he cannot get the things he wants, he simply receives insults from others, and thus he becomes morose. So it is said that necessity knows no law. When the conditioned soul needs money to acquire life's bare necessities, he adopts any means. He begs, borrows, or steals. Instead of receiving these things, is insulted and chastised. Unless one is very well organized, one cannot accumulate riches by unfair means. If one acquires riches by unfair means, he cannot avoid punishment and insult from the government or the general populace. There are many instances of important peoples embezzling money, getting caught, and being put in prison. One may be able to avoid the punishment of prison, but one cannot avoid the punishment of the Supreme Personality Godhead, who works through the agency of material nature. This is described in Bhagavad-Gita, Psalm 14, Daivihi Yashagunmai Mammaya Rutyaya. Nature is very cruel. She does not excuse anyone. When people don't care for nature, they commit all kinds of sinful activities, and consequently, they have to suffer. So, in this material world, sometime we might be in a good position, another time we might be in a not so good position, and then we can just accumulate more and more karma in this material body. So it goes on. Although people may be enemies, in order to fulfill their desires again and again, they sometimes get married. Unfortunately, these marriages don't last very long, especially nowadays. It's very rampant in every country. And the people involved are separated again by divorce or other means. As stated previously, every conditioned soul has the propensity to cheat, even in marriage. So this is a problem. It's the cheating propensity. It's been mentioned in all these verses. Everywhere in this material world, one conditioned soul is envious of another. For the time being, people may remain friends, but eventually they become enemies again and fight over money. Sometimes they marry and are separated by divorce or other means. On the whole, unity is never permanent. Due to the cheating propensity, both parties always remain envious. Even in Krishna consciousness, separation and enmity take place due to the prominence of material propensities. So this is how strong this is, cheating propensity. The path of this material world is full of material miseries, and various troubles disturb the conditioned souls. Sometimes he loses, sometimes he gains. In either case, the path is full of danger. Sometimes the conditioned soul is separated from his father by death or other circumstances. Leaving him aside, he gradually becomes attached to others, such as his children. In this way, the conditioned soul is sometimes illusioned and afraid. Sometimes he cries loudly out of fear. Sometimes he's happy maintaining his family, and sometimes he's overjoyed and sings melodiously. In this way, he becomes entangled and forgets his separation from the Supreme Personality Godhead since time immemorial. So, we are either suffering or we're enjoying. Either way, we forget God because we're too busy doing our own thing. Thus, he traverses the dangerous path of material existence, and on this path, he is not at all happy. Those who are self-realized simply take shelter of the Supreme Personality Godhead in order to get out of this dangerous material existence. Without accepting the devotional path, one cannot get out of the clutches of material existence. The conclusion is that one can be happy that no one can be happy in material life, one must take to Krishna consciousness. Our mind is always disturbed. Sometimes we don't even know why our mind is disturbed. We have to sort of track back. Well, why have I got this disturbance in my mind? You forget, oh yeah, that's happening, or that's going to happen. That's why I'm upset. It's constantly, the mind is always disturbed about things that either happened or are about to happen. There's always this going on. We've got to find a solution, because if we stop worrying about one thing, then the mind will scan something else to worry about. This is constant and it's guaranteed. So there has to be a system where we don't worry about anything coming, going, gone. There has to be consciousness that can just repel all this. Saintly persons who are friends to all living entities have a peaceful consciousness. They have controlled their senses and minds, and they easily attain the path of liberation, the path back to Godhead. Being unfortunate and attached to miserable material conditions, a material person cannot associate with them. When the conditioned soul accepts the shelter of the creeper of fruited activity, he may be elevated by his pious activities to higher planet systems and thus gain liberation from the hellish conditions. But unfortunately, he cannot remain there. After reaping the results of his pious activities, he has to return to the lower planetary system. In this way, he perpetually goes up and comes down. So, having summarized the teachings of Jad Bharat, Shukdev Goswami said, so this was Shukdev Goswami explaining to Maharaj Parikshit, my dear King Parikshit, the path indicated by Jad Bharat is like the path followed by Garuda, the carrier of the Lord. And ordinary kings are just like flies. Flies cannot follow the path of Garuda. And to date, none of the great kings and victorious leaders could follow this path of devotional service, not even mentally. So Shukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, the activities of Bharat Maharaj are wonderful. He gave up everything difficult for others to give up. He gave up his kingdom, his wife, and his family. His opulence was so great that even the demigods envied it. Yet he gave it up. It was quite befitting a great personality like him to be a great devotee. He could renounce everything because he was so attracted to the beauty, opulence, reputation, knowledge, strength, the six opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna is so attractive that one can give up all desirable things for his sake. Indeed, even liberation is considered insignificant for those whose minds are attracted to the loving service of the Lord. Even though in the body of a deer, Maharaj Bharat did not forget the Supreme Personality Godhead. Therefore, when he was giving up the body of a deer, he loudly uttered the following prayer. So this is when he was giving up the body of the deer. There's a prayer, he said, well, the Supreme Personality Godhead is sacrifice personified. He gives the results of ritualistic activity. He is the protector of religious systems, the personification of mystic yoga, the source of all knowledge, the controller of the entire creation, and the super soul is in every living entity. He is beautiful and attractive. I'm quitting this body, offering obeisances unto him, and hoping that I may perpetually engage in his transcendental loving service. Uttering this, Maharaj Bharat left his body. So devotees interested in hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam regularly discuss the pure characteristics of Bharat Maharaj and praise his activities. If one submissively hears and chants about the old auspicious Maharaj Bharat, one's lifespan, material opulences certainly increase. One can become very famous and easily attain promotion to the heavenly planets, or attain liberation by merging into the existence of the Lord. Whatever one desires can be attained simply by hearing, chanting, and glorifying the activities of Maharaj Bharat. In this way, one can fulfill all his material and spiritual desires. One does not have to ask anyone else for these things. For simply by studying the life of Maharaj Bharat, one can attain all desirable things. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Hina Mataji, Jai Prabhu, Madhav Sham Sundar Prabhu, Praveen Mataji, Pundikaksh Prabhu, Suresh Mataji. So it's mentioned that just by discussing Maharaj Bharat's life, we can gain all these things. That's, well, we don't want all those, well, we do, but they should come automatically. We should not ask for them. What we want is to learn the lesson from Maharaj Bharat, the importance of association and the importance of keeping focus on Krishna. Never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna, and understand why we have this human body. You know, whether it's in the mode of good, whether you're born in the mode of goodness, or we're born in the mode of passion, or whether you're born in the mode of ignorance, it doesn't matter. You know, we have to make the best of a bad bargain. This human body itself is so weak and frail and disturbed. It's a bad bargain anyway. So, you know, we have to understand to make the best of the bad bargain and understand what scriptures are trying to tell us, what these pastimes are trying to tell us, and make the best use of this body. You know, we keep it in good condition, not for sense gratification. We make body strong, not so we can enjoy more sense gratification, make it strong so we can serve more. Devotion service is given the highest priority over everything else. Liberation, anything else is given the highest priority. And that should be our aim. We should never forget that. So thank you so much. And love to hear your views on this. Sureshi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
We're living in this world at the moment, and this world is just like compared to a forest. When you live in the forest is not very safe place. It is dangerous place, and this material world is it's just like a forest, and sometimes you go forest fire in the forest, and then we get everybody burnt. So, but when we have a shelter of spiritual master or guru, and he can release from the forest fire, and because we like to enjoy. I mean, it is natural for us to enjoy because that's why the Krishna gave us some senses to enjoy. But people, the sense gratification, they for themselves they like to enjoy as much as us, and they can get deeper into the forest, and just like in the forest we were attacked by animals and things, so we get attacked by Maya here as well, and we get suffering. Everybody's suffering, and somehow the other different ways suffering, as they say, the three kind of suffering. The Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Devik. Adhyatmika is, I mean, you yourself, you worry about something is not going right. That, and then Adi Bhautik is some other people who try to do something, and you feel like anyone, even the animals, might you suffer. And then this natural disaster is all happening in this world. So you can't be happy in this world. And we've got senses. Krishna gave us senses, and like especially we've got senses, but unless it's the object of senses work, we can't do anything. So we have to control mostly the object of senses, like smelling, eating, hearing, seeing. And with all the object of senses, instead of satisfying ourselves, we can use same thing like we are doing in Krishna conscious. Like if you eating anything, you might prasad for offer to Krishna. And smelling is we give flowers to Krishna, smelling and hearing about the Bhagavad-Gita like we're hearing from you now. So we can object of the senses, we can use it for Krishna instead of our sense gratification. And when the senses we use for the sense gratification, then soul get conditioned. That's how there is a conditioned soul. And we always must remember what is the goal of life, why we are here. Krishna didn't send us to enjoy. He gave us one chance to come back to him. That's the purpose of our life, to go back to Godhead. So we have to control our mind senses when we see around us how people are living, and we can learn from them. And still in the we can't be saved so much, but we have to try, by instruction of Guru. And if you want to get out of this world, you have to take shelter of Guru. You have to take shelter of Bhagavatam. You have to, because Bhagavatam is like same as the Krishna. In Bhagavatam and Krishna are not different. So we have to take shelter to save ourselves from this world, this material world. And so we have to try to get association with the other devotees, to learn from them, because they will always tell us the right path to go back to Godhead, and what to do in the life, how to come over this all our troubles, because we got too much trouble in this material world. It is made especially Kali Yuga. They had in the other users, they had less problems, but we've got all kind of problems in this Kali Yuga. So especially we have to control our minds, our senses, and try to follow the instruction of Guru's Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita. Krishna gives all the instructions how to live in this material world in Bhagavad-Gita. So it's not only reading, we have to follow it, what he says. I know it is very, very hard to follow, because the way we are living, living with all sorts of people. But we can try our best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, wonderful. It's been recommended we read 1,000 times, read Srimad Bhagavatam 100 times, Chaitanya Charitamrita at least 10 times. Okay, we might not be able to reach, that much time, but you get the principle that we read them again and again and again, because they are there, they are the key to get it out of this material world. Lord Chaitanya, he gave us Srimad Bhagavatam, he revived it. There's a reason. Why would he give us Srimad Bhagavatam? He left us that so we can get out. It's a map to get out of this material world. Krishna spoke about Gita for the same reason, right? So we can't understand them in one go. It's understandable, especially in the Kali Yuga. We don't have that much capacity to grasp things so quickly, and we probably misunderstand anyway. You read the same thing again, you think, oh, I misunderstood it last time. This is what it. So next time you might even see it different. These scriptures, they come in layers, so you get deeper and deeper into them. So very important to keep going again and again. Just keep reading Bhagavad Gita, keep reading Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just keep at it. Just keep dwelling into them, and we will find the solutions. Because if we don't keep repeating, then it's forgotten. Thank you so much. Purnikaksh Prabhu, what do you think?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the major point mentioned more about cheating propensity. And seriously, like in material world, money plays more important role where the people get involved in cheating. We have seen so many people who are very famous for their things, but again, they fall down because of cheating um, for the money's sake. So, as you said, Prabhuji, it's very hard to like grasp the thing. We have to keep reading things repeatedly. And I feel very like some people are really fortunate that even today, when some people are coming from reading Bhagavad-Gita, while reading, they are able to grasp things. So I feel like an opportunity is given to them, but if they use that skill in a particular in a proper direction, then it would really help them to get out of this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. And always we face these three things: Adi Devik, Adi Bautik, and Adhyatmik. And especially the Adhyatmik one is in our control because Lord has given us free will as well. So reading these pastimes will definitely help. Bharat Maharaj pastime specifically, I feel like it has given about Atma Gyan as well. So the soul continues its journey. So he says monkey jumps from one tree to another tree, and we move from one body to another body. So this shows clearly that Bharat Maharaj case that how he continues his life, and how Lord actually protects the devotees by giving what they preserving what they have and giving what they lack. And Bharat Maharaj understand the situation. That is why he never overreact to any situation. He was been so humble because he understand the truth, absolute truth. So in a way, this helps us. Like we always think that okay, many people get preserve what they have, but even we also got that. We should just realize that, take the help of the scriptures and spiritual master and the devotees, and learn from it and try to get out of this. That's it, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So the point came to my mind, just disappeared. See, this is the weakness we have. There's something I wanted to say that on this topic you were talking, and yeah, it's gone. It might come back later on. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the class. Please accept my humble obeisances. Oh, glories to Prabhupada. I was just thinking how, we are so fortunate to have this human birth, and how, we must not miss the opportunity to perfect our life. And it's such a blessing that the path has been made so simple. If you think about it, it is just to remember the Lord. It's to associate with devotees. It's to immerse ourselves in the wonderful scriptures as well, and to follow the regulations, the 4 regulations. It's sometimes, I think, it's easy to overcomplicate it. It's almost, we've got to try and always remind ourselves that is how simple it is. But everything, usually life gets in the way of everything else. So the human life is, I was thinking, it's a crossroads. We can go up, we can go down, we can easily get strayed. So we must make it our number one priority. We must get serious. I'm talking to myself here. We must get serious about our spiritual life and our bhakti. I think you make some nice points, Prabhuji, around how the material world is always ever changing. Our relationships are always strained in this world. There's people who have cheating propensities. It's so easy for people to become entangled, and as a result, we forget the Lord, we forget Krishna. Yeah, and so I think we are so fortunate that those who are self-realized take shelter of Krishna. And we need to hold on to that. And Krishna is so attractive that once we have been attracted to him, all it takes is usually just like once we've got that pull of the heart, there's no going back, and he equally won't let us go either. He'll keep dragging us back. So it's a relationship. It's a two-way relationship. So I think we've got to just always treasure what we've got, really. So that's it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Madhuri. Yeah, and I just remembered what I was thinking earlier. So this, I heard that this transcendental knowledge, it's live. It's not like material knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is Krishna himself. And for us to be able to grasp it and connect with it. This is why we try to be in mode of goodness all the time. Our character, our lifestyle, what we think, what we say, what we do. It's very, very important because we have to make ourselves fertile to grasp this knowledge, and it is a lot based on our how we behave and how we think. We have to be in the mode of goodness all the time in everything in our behavior. And if we try to do that, then the knowledge comes more easier and it sticks more. Obviously Krishna wants to be with this purity. So very important that we build a strong character where there's purity, then the knowledge is even the knowledge is attracted to us. Now the knowledge will be attracted. We are attracted to the knowledge, and the knowledge is attracted to us. So it's very important. This, I'm just these things are just I'm realizing this little. Well, they seem little, but they're very big, and I think something that we take for granted. Like I've said, we can read, Gita 1,000 times, Srimad Bhagavatam 100 times, Chaitanya Charitamrita 10 times, and we'll get it, but we won't. We can read it 100,000 times, we won't get it unless the purity is there to absorb it. I think we have to be pure. So we have to work on, not only just acquiring the knowledge, we have to make sure the container is able to absorb the knowledge, is able to hold that knowledge. And I think very important that we work on ourselves. And again, I'm talking to myself about myself. That's what I'm thinking. That if I can have a better character, I will get the knowledge more better as well. Hare Krishna. Praveen Mataji, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada, everyone. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class. Sorry, I was disturbed in the class. So, yeah, everybody's made all the points, and like we are very fortunate to be in a human body, and even the demigods, they long for this, so they can worship Krishna. And in chapter 2, Lord Krishna is giving instructions to Arjuna. It's not only for Arjuna, for all of us. And you touched upon, the importance of reading the Shastras. And there in text 31, it talks about Swadharma. That's our material and spiritual duties. So we have to do our spiritual duties as well as the material duties, but also understand at the same time that the material life is temporary. So we should understand where the importance should be. And doing our duties, we have to surrender to Krishna and not look for any results. So we are not entangled in anything then. And also, like, importance of the literatures, then we reading like Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Queen's praised by Queen Kunti. And there in Chapter 8, verse 36, Queen Kunti, she is saying, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Abhikshana, Smranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Jana, Taeva Pashyanti, Achirena Tabakam, Bhav Prabhavoharam Padambhujam. I'll read the translation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. So by surrendering to Krishna and engaging in devotional service, we can, cross this material existence and achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. But like you said, purity is important. Then only we can absorb all these things. So we have to work towards the mode of goodness and to transcend further. And I liked when you were saying which animal we were, previously. And when you said monkeys, and I quickly wrote jumping from one branch to another. So that's exactly what we're doing,
I think that's
And then you read that as well, and I said yes. And like, funnily, I always have dreams like I am lost. So I don't know, this is the regular dreams I have, and I am lost somewhere, I'm lost, and which is true, we are lost here. So I don't know what Krishna is trying to tell me, but then I will share with you. You are my devotee family, all of you. And one dream, then I saw Kesha Maharaj. So I don't see Krishna, but I've seen Kesha Maharaj. And then I say, oh, Kesha Maharaj. So I'll go to Kesha Maharaj and ask, my Prabhu's number. He will know Prabhu's number. So, but I was so happy that at least I saw Kesha Maharaj. I am lost. So I know I'm on the right path. So Kesha Maharaj has shown me the light. Yes, you're not lost. You're on the right path. You just have to come to Krishna. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. Sorry, the verse I read was like it was the importance of hearing, chanting, and repeating activities of Krishna. So hearing starts. We are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has given us the Mahamantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so merciful. So we are in a very good place. We've been given this Mahamantra. So if we sincerely chant, so the conditions are sincerity, steadiness, consistency. We can't do like, okay, chant 16 rounds today, or tomorrow I'll do one, next day I'll do 20. So consistency is very important. Sincerity and love for Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, everyone. I was also hearing from Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. He was saying that problem with us is that when we are eating, we are not just eating. We are doing hundreds of other things. Our mind is doing this, our mind is doing that. And when we are studying the Shastras, we are not just studying the Shastras, we are doing 100 other things. And when we are trying to, worship in our temple or at home to our deities, that is in basically few words Maharaj described our situation in this world.
Even chanting.
Yes, even in chanting, we are not chanting, we're doing hundreds of other things. So if we could, he was saying that if we could only do one thing at one time, that will be very beneficial to all of us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
But
so much.
Mataji, we need a tip as well how to do that. Yeah, I feel that mind is going everywhere. Even you try. So like Premanand Maharaj, he said when we are chanting, so try to see the names of Krishna when you're saying the word. So I do close my eyes and then I see the writing coming in front of my eyes, and that helps a little bit. But like other activities, we don't know how we can. But still, I wouldn't say my chanting is pure. I'm not thinking of other things. I still, mind goes other places, and then you have to bring it back. But it's a constant battle. So any tips from anybody I'll appreciate that.
The day we will have tips to to help each other in that respect, we'll be walking and talking role models. At the moment, I think for a few minutes, and next day or next moment we are same again.
That's true.
So this is how our battle is in this world.
So thank you so much. Let's do